never dealt with that before.
We didn't know that we hired him.
I got probation if it's that way. And I'm usually pretty good about talking him down, but he pissed me off the other day, so I laid into him.
Yeah, Neil's usually good at talking this guy down, but he quit and then...
Yes.
I'm the one that's gonna interview her.
Okay.
Can you go back out to the lobby?
Sure.
Hopefully it won't take too long. Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's fine, that's fine. I've got another guy that's coming in and he's gonna sit here with me, okay? I'm with the state police and we're investigating the crash from this morning and I'm one of the investigators, so I come back and do interviews. So I'll probably have to talk louder just so they can hear me, because it's recorded.
Okay.
Are you okay? Did you get hurt at all?
My hips hurt, that's alright.
Your what hurts?
My hips.
Your hips?
Yeah, that's okay.
Did you go to the hospital?
No.
You didn't go at all?
I went to get blood work
Okay.
to see, like...
Did they check you out, or
No, but I didn't want to.
you think maybe after you leave here you might go back?
I don't think so.
Was this lady your aunt?
Yeah.
Okay. They said she works at probation. She looked familiar, but I didn't know who
Yeah.
that was. Okay. What is your first name?
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Okay, I thought that's what he said, but I didn't want to be wrong. How do you spell your name?
Alyssa.
Alyssa.
Yeah.
What's your middle initial?
L.
What's that stand for?
Lee.
L-E-E?
L-E-I-G-H.
Oh, not the time I guess. Okay, your last name?
Shepherd. S-H-E-P-H-E-R-D.
A-R-D? E-E-R-D. That's okay.
Shaking.
Well, when I try to guess ahead of time. What's your address?
5192 East 150 South.
Is that Rochester?
Yeah.
Is it 75?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your phone number?
Do you want my cell phone?
Yeah.
Because they have it. I didn't
Yeah.
have it. Okay. 574
Okay.
780
Okay.
0208.
And what is your cell phone carrier? Like Sprint,
AT&T.
AT&T? Okay. AT&T. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Do you have a passcode on? I know you said they have
I
it.
do have a passcode.
Okay, we'll talk
You
about
want
that later.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind.
It's 0319.
319.
Yeah.
So that's it, just a number passcode?
Yeah, it's my daughter's birthday.
Okay. Oh, how many kids do you have?
2.
How old are they?
3 and 2.
So you have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, boys or girls?
I have my 3-year-old's a girl and my 2-year-old's a boy.
Oh, okay. And her birthday must be March 19th?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you work?
At Faith Outreach.
Is that right on,
It's on 9th
14th
Street.
or-
It's on 9th Street. It's a church.
it seems like I've seen it. Is it right on that main road?
Yeah, it's by B&K.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing. Wasn't that all redone not that long ago? It's kind of being redone maybe
Yeah.
for some of those. What do you do there?
I'm a children's director.
Okay.
Children's ministry director. It's just part-time.
Okay. Are you married?
Yeah.
Who's your husband?
Neil Shepherd.
In?
E-I-L.
Oh, better ask. Neil Shepherd. How long have you guys been married?
4 years.
Okay. And he lives there with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Where does he work?
It's called Lumatech. We own the company. It's A-L-U-M-I.
L-A.
A-L. Luma.
A-L.
U-M-I space T-E-C-H products.
Did you say you guys own the company?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do you guys do there?
We build trailers and cabinets and stuff for the living room.
Okay. And where's that located at?
That's where I was actually leaving. It was Thomas Fasteners, the old Thomas Fastener building.
Okay. Talma. It's in Talma?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And then, well, and anytime I interview someone, and you're not under arrest or any trouble with me or
You're
anything like that. Yeah. Well, maybe that's why they sent me. I have to read people their rights. It's not like on TV. It's just that so you know your rights, and it doesn't mean like on TV that you're under arrest or anything like that. I'm not trying to trick you. It's just that something we do. How long do you think you've been here this morning?
In here?
Yeah, like here.
I don't know, it feels like 23 minutes, but I don't know how long it really is.
Okay. It's like around 9:30. Yeah, it's 9:29 right now. Let's see what the date is. The 30th? Yeah. I do this a lot of times just so people can read along, because it's weird having me read to you. Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions, and to have him with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. If you're a juvenile, you have the right to talk with your parents. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay. Just look really young, that's
I
all.
know.
You don't look...
I never leave the house in my pajamas.
Yeah. So then this part is the waiver. I've read the statement of my rights and I understand what my rights are. I am willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and know what I'm doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me. And then...
What do you recommend?
I'm not allowed to recommend.
Oh, really?
What
My
I am.
sister-in-law's a lawyer, that's why I was
Yeah.
wondering.
Well, right now, we're just trying to get the basics of what happened, where we can sit down on camera and just talk about the morning, like what happened, where you were going and that stuff. So that's really what I'm here for. So this is your rights, and then I just ask for your signature that you understand them, and then this part would be if you were a juvenile, and I crossed that out. So just that you understand your rights.
Okay. It's so hard to write right now. So this does not look like me writing.
It's okay. I can't give legal advice. I'm not allowed to do that. All I can do is just present the information and just basically getting this information and just where you were going and coming from and that kind of stuff. So just some basic questions.
Okay.
If you get a question you don't want to answer, that's what that means. You don't have to answer questions if you don't want to. That's kind of what that means, that you have rights, so I can't make you do anything.
Okay.
Okay? So what time did you leave this morning? Do you remember?
It was like barely before, I don't know. We were supposed to be at home at 7 at our building, so we left, my husband drove there. So I'm like, we left in time to get there.
Okay. So you're supposed to be at Talma at 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we were behind. But,
What's your vehicle?
the Toyota Tacoma.
Okay. What color is it?
It's like tan.
And he drove.
Well, he drove to Talma.
Okay.
And then I drove from there.
Neil drove northbound. Right? That would be north, wouldn't it? Like from your house to up there?
I don't know. I lived kind of towards Athens.
Okay.
So like we'd have to take 14 to 25. I don't really know.
Okay. Yep. That would be northbound.
Okay.
So you went west first and then you went north.
Okay.
Okay. So you got to you got to Talma by what time? Did you make it by 7?
We were probably like 5 after.
Okay. So 7:05.
I'm just estimating.
That's okay. That's okay. How long were you there?
Oh, I just like dropped him off, like talked to my kids for a couple minutes. I sent my mom a message saying, hey, I'm heading to take my brother to school or whatever I said, because my parents are in the hospital right now. So,
Both of them?
no.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Just take your time. I may interrupt just to try to sidetrack you a little bit, but just...
No, my stepdad, well, he's been my dad since I was 2, so he's like my dad, but he might have bypass surgery.
Okay.
So my mom is there. She's headed back now.
Okay. So where was he at to have bypass surgery?
In Fort Wayne.
Okay. And that was supposed to be today?
Well, he found out like yesterday that he was gonna have it, and they told him that they could do it like in the next couple of days, or that he could go home for like a week or two and come back. But I think that they were gonna do it. I don't know now, but
Right. But it's possible it could be today or tomorrow.
yeah.
Okay. And that's stepdad.
Yeah.
But he's who raised you, it sounds like.
Yeah, I have my dad, but it was like a every other weekend thing too, you know. So that's
Sure. That's who raised you.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jason Hudkins.
Jason Hudkins. How do you spell that?
It's HUDKINS.
And where does he live?
In Rochester.
Okay. With mom.
Yeah.
And what's mom's name?
Amanda.
Same as his?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you dropped me off around around 7:05. And
Yeah.
did you have other people in the car with you at that point?
I have my 2 kids, and my brother.
Okay. When the crash happened, did you have all of them? Okay. 2 kids and brother. How old's your brother?
He's 12.
Okay. And 2 kids and brother. Because mom's in Fort Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where were you headed to at that, like, you left there southbound? Where does he go to school?
Yeah, so I was going to take him to my mom's house, and he was going to get changed and grab his stuff, and then I was going to take him to Riddle School.
Okay. So you were headed to mom's
Yeah.
at that, before this happened?
Yeah, that's where we're supposed to be going.
Okay. What's mom's address? What part of town is that?
Are you familiar with their town?
A little bit.
Okay, so it's like kind of the lake. It's by Campson Park. It's like close to the dam. It's kind of back in that range, like a couple roads back.
Like behind the B&K?
Yeah.
Back in there?
Yeah, a couple roads.
So kind of in that housing that's just off the side of the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I recognize the name, but I can't picture where it's at. So
It like connects to Wabash. I don't know if you know Wabash.
yeah, I do. Okay. So you dropped him off. You're southbound. Do you remember anything?
Yeah, we obviously didn't get dropped off, but
Right. You dropped off your husband,
Oh,
and
okay.
you took over driving, and then you start back. I'm gonna say southbound because you're back towards Rochester. Right?
yeah.
Okay. So what's the last thing you remember?
So when I was driving, I remember seeing a vehicle, and I did not know what it was. Like I didn't see a stop sign. Like usually when I see a bus, I like see a stop sign. So I was like, what is that? I had no clue what it was. So like what I remember was trying to figure out like what heavy load it was. And then all of a sudden I do see kids, and I feel like, you know, your memory's so crazy at this point, but I feel like I tried stopping, but it was like so too late.
Okay.
Because like, you know, you can't have brights on because the vehicle's coming towards you, so everything's so dark.
Do you remember what was around you?
I remember I was by the trailer park.
Okay, and that's why I was asking, just to see if you remember that.
But I feel like I tried stopping, but it was like so too late.
Okay.
Because like, you know, you can't have brights on because the vehicle's coming towards you, so everything's so dark.
Do you remember what was around you?
I remember I was by the trailer park.
Okay, and that's why I was asking, just to see if you remember that. Put this to my brain so it doesn't do anything crazy. Okay. So you know you're by the trailer park. Do you know what that's called?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you remember how fast you were going?
No, I'm a slow driver. People make fun of me. But so I don't know because it's so hard to remember everything. But I believe I tried stopping, and I'm usually like when I go there, I'm usually like driving 50 or lower. But
Do you know if the
Because
speed limit goes down right there or not?
I don't. There's no sign on it.
Okay.
See.
I think you tried stopping, but when you usually, do you go through there every day? Is that-
Several days a week, yeah.
But not, I mean, are you in that area at that time normally,
No.
or was today something a little bit different? Or?
Yeah, so my husband went and visited my stepdad last night in the hospital, and so he was staying back from Ohio with his dad, and so my brother took him home, so like his dad could go to Warsaw, and so my brother just took him home, so his vehicle was at Talma because somebody needed to get material, and so I had to drive him to work.
Okay, so that's not normal?
No.
You normally do not drive him to work?
No, I've had to like a couple times, but no.
Okay. you don't make the trip at 7 o'clock in the morning every morning to Thelma. I guess that's just kind of what I'm getting at.
No.
Do you remember, was it dark?
It was very dark. I was using my brights up until I saw a vehicle.
Okay. Were there any other vehicles behind you that you remember?
It's so hard remembering, like, if it was after the accident, you know, that you saw vehicles, or if it was, like, before.
Okay.
So I honestly don't know. I thought there was a vehicle behind me, but I'm, like, trying to think, did I see it after the accident, or did I see it?
And I mean, it's indifferent. Sometimes I ask those questions just to see if it sparks a memory of something else, so. You do make several trips to Thelma though throughout the week, just not at 7 in the morning.
Right.
I'm not trying to re-harp on that. I just want to make sure I understood what you told me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go there, several times a week, yeah.
So you saw the vehicle.
I saw the vehicle and I was trying to figure out what it was.
Trying to figure out, okay. And this is going to be the big question. Were you on your phone?
No.
Talking?
No.
Messing
So
with
my phone was like in
radio?
my console, and so like, I might have had like something open, but I wasn't on it. I hadn't texted anyone since the parking lot, so I'm like,
Not on the phone, like
No.
speaker, even though they have speakerphone, they're Bluetooth through the car, and
No.
like not talking to anybody, not actively texting or looking at
No.
Facebook or.
I know. I'm like, this would be so much worse if something like that was happening.
What about the kids? Anybody distracting you?
No. Riley and Ross were sleeping, and Ace was in the middle. We were just talking about schoolwork.
Okay.
He was in the middle deck, so nobody was in my passenger seat.
So that's your little brother?
Yeah, his name is actually Jason Hudkins too, but his middle name's Ace.
Okay.
So everyone calls him Ace.
Like ACE?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't see, okay, not on the phone,
No.
and that's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
You said that they have it. Anytime we're gonna ask if you care if we look at it.
Oh.
And that is to try to eliminate, make sure you weren't actively on the phone or
Yeah.
anything like that. So that's my other form.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like I read your rights to talk to you. I have a consent to search for your phone. Do you have a problem with that? We can do that
No.
right now too.
Um,
That way he can get it done quicker and get it back to
I feel
you.
like it makes everything better.
Okay, yeah, anything, that you're willing to do to help out, let's. So much paper. Okay, so this is about your phone. We'll fill it in. I guess I can fill it in. Was it pink? I thought I saw it. Or is it a
It's
pink
like-
case?
It's in like a bluish case, but it's actually like a rose gold phone.
Okay. So the rose gold. What kind of phone is that?
It's an iPhone.
Okay, so it's an iPhone. Which one is it? What
I think it's like
Mom.
a 7.
phone? Okay, I'll just might leave that blank.
I think
iPhone. Rose gold. I'm just gonna put the color since I don't know. Which I don't know what serial numbers are, and you probably don't either.
No.
This is a pure juvenile, has apparently one of those. So that would be pure juvenile. So we don't need that, so this would be, and I'm gonna read it to you anyway. You have the following constitutional rights. You have the right to require that a search warrant be obtained before any search of your property. You have the right to refuse to consent to a warrantless search. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before giving consent to a search. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. If you're a juvenile, you have the right to talk with your parent or guardian before any consent to such search. I have read this statement of my rights and understand what my rights are. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I consent to a warrantless search by officers of the Indiana State Police of the following described property. Right now we have an iPhone rose gold color located at, I'm probably going to put Fulton County Sheriff's Department, since that's where we are. Because I think he can do it right here, since we're doing this, and get it back to you. Well, I'll let you go here in a minute. I authorize these officers to seize any article of property which they consider evidence. I understand and know what I'm doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me. So that's that one. Thank you. So let's see, not on the phone. Kids, you got 2 that were sleeping. The younger ones were sleeping. How are they doing?
I think they're fine.
Think they're okay?
I don't really know.
Okay. Where did they end up going?
They went to the town building, our building.
Did your husband come down and get them?
Yeah,
Okay.
he came and got them, and his employee took them back there.
Oh, okay. So,
My husband could stay.
okay. Did that work?
That was me.
Oh, with you.
Yeah.
Where's he at right now?
I think he's here.
Okay.
I saw him earlier. Here.
That's right. Okay. I saw a couple people up front, but I don't think that person I saw was her husband. I don't believe because he was an emergency man in a truck. Does that sound right? No. Okay. Drinking any alcohol this morning?
No.
Okay. Doing any drugs this morning?
No.
Doing any drugs this last weekend?
No.
Anything that would be in your system like that?
No.
And you said you went to the hospital and they took a blood draw?
Yeah.
Is that to check for?
Yeah, the truck was
alcohol?
that stuff.
Okay, okay. The vehicle, I got where you were going, I got the phone, drugs, alcohol. Okay. What's the first thing you remember after the crash happened? Did anybody say anything to you or?
Well, I don't know if it was like mental or not, but I couldn't get my door open, so I don't know if it was like, because I don't know if it was like I really couldn't, because eventually I could. Or if like I was just so shaky that I couldn't get my door open, so I didn't know what to do. Because I couldn't get out for a second, and so I was like searching for my phone, because last I remember it was my console, and now I don't know where it's at, so I'm searching my phone to call somebody to figure something out. So,
When did you realize when did you realize that was a bus that was there?
like I saw kids, and then there was a crash.
It just happened
It so happened so fast, and all of a sudden, like I'm trying to call I'm like horribly a wreck, and I'm like screaming and crying. I hit kids, and I'm like searching for a phone to call somebody to do something. And like that's when I realized like the bus has children.
Okay. And where did you find your phone?
It was on the floor somewhere.
Yeah, sometimes they're really hard to find.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
It took me a long time to find it. It felt like a long time in an emergency.
Who was sitting beside you up front?
Nobody.
No, so all 3 of them were in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And you're not injured at all? Just hips hurt?
Yeah, I had.
seatbelt?
I don't really know. Okay, so I had her surgery on my hip when I was 18, and so like it's been good since then. But it just feels like I don't know.
Were you wearing your seatbelt?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody else was buckled?
Yeah.
So they were in the back.
Yeah, all 3 of them were.
Who's the first person that came up and talked to you? Had you made it out of the car?
I got out of the car for a second, and I was on the phone. So I don't know what order I called everybody in.
Okay.
But I know I tried calling 911, but it wasn't like getting through.
Okay.
So I called my friend Brittany. She's dispatch.
Okay.
And so I called her and I was talking to her, and she called 911. And I'm like, I tried calling 911. I don't know if I'm inpatient or what, but it wasn't like no one was picking up. And so I decided to call Brittany, and she talked to me, and she told me I had to get in my car. So I got out of the car. People were already with everybody, so I didn't go to people. So I didn't talk to anybody for a long time until I think it was a fireman who came to my car.
Okay. Do you know, were you out then? By then, did you get out?
I got out for a second, but I got back in.
Okay. So you couldn't get out at first. You tried 911, but it wouldn't go through, so you called Brittany.
And I also called my husband. That's Brittany Thompson. I don't know if you knew that.
I know that name. She said she's a dispatcher. Did you just call her personal phone?
Yeah, I called her cell phone.
Did she end up calling 911?
Yeah, I could hear her on the phone. I don't know if it was actually the number 911 or a person there that she called. But I think people already had called.
Probably. Okay.
But I don't know if I called my husband and Brittany or Brittany and my husband. I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
one of the two.
Yeah.
You don't remember, you say you're typically a slow driver, but you don't really know how fast you were going?
And not at that point, because it's around a curve, so I slowed down. So usually like when I'm leaving town, like the speed limit is low in the beginning and then it slowly increases. So like, it's like 35 and 45 and 65. I don't know exactly.
How far is Talma from Miser's trailer park? That trailer park we were at? I don't remember how much further it is. It's okay if you don't know, that's fine.
I always think like it's my third way mark to town, but I don't really know.
Is there anything else you can think of that I haven't asked? Come in.
What was that passcode?
Oh,
It's 0319.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay. You have consent, is that correct?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah, oh yeah.
Sorry.
You want it? To fill out the, because we can't, she didn't know which one it was. It wasn't iPhone 7.
I think it's a 7.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you talked to him at all?
Mhm.
Okay, he's my supervisor, and he's the one that does the phones, so
Okay.
that's why